I already
Yeah, I do. Hold on.
We'll bring this up during the meeting, but we were thinking we would just do the rest of the meetings for the year on Zoom.
Huh?
On Zoom
What about?
only, just do the rest of them for the year on Zoom instead of doing live.
Oh, okay.
It's not making that much of a difference to me, as far as access and stuff. Are you okay with just doing it on the phone?
I'm fine. I got a new battery for my phone, so.
Sweet. Are you okay just doing them on Zoom for the rest of the
Oh,
year?
absolutely.
Then I think we'll announce that at the end.
And would it be only phone?
No, we could do phone and audio,
Oh, okay.
but, yep, but that way we'll, just do
Because
it.
I need new batteries in my hearing aids and I didn't put them in there.
Uh-oh.
So I can't hear.
Uh-oh,
I can
We'll
hear
speak
very
up.
little.
How about sign language, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, get my attention. It's like,
yeah.
oh, Dad, pay attention here.
No, I think that we just talked about it a little when I got here, but we don't have a lot of folks that are attending. I thought maybe we'd have more of the department heads, and I don't think we will. We have to figure out how to do our budget hearings and stuff too, but we'll figure that out.
We only need to have one budget hearing.
Yep.
We could get the packets out to people ahead of time. And just do it the day petitioned articles are due, which I
Yep.
think might be February 2nd.
Okay, so
What do you need, the passcode or the ID?
passcode.
332 104.
332104.
These are for you guys to just take home, look at, and talk about at a later date.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes.
Nine 9862197.
Are these self-evaluations? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have given you guys that higher check.
Oh.
And there weren't any negative numbers, I noticed. Just under.
Yeah, right, what's up with that?
Oh, and on the short-term rentals, should I read each of them?
Yeah, because we have
I
to,
think you have to do a
Yeah.
motion, yeah. I mean, you can do one motion for the ones listed, but. Well, can you put somebody's stuff? Is that someone's home? It's your problem. Oh, okay. Yeah.
If it's Hollywood, I want Gene Hackman to play me.
oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, it's time to open the meeting. So I will. The select board meeting of November 10th, 2020 at the town office. So the first thing we should do is approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting on October 27th.
We actually have one change to the minutes though, right? For the, from the town historic, what's it, the Historical Society that said they didn't endorse the change of the naming of the town, they just had sent information on it So they just wanted that to be
Yes.
changed, but otherwise approved with that correction.
Well, then we'll put that correction into the minutes that the Historical Society did not endorse changing the derivation of the name Jackson, but sent information about it.
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion. Second.
I will second that.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. Let's see, the Benish driveway permit is ongoing. I got a email from, I think both sides wanted a, no, I just, now Frank would like to delay to go through his legal proceedings. Before we go into our other discussions, I just wanted to thank the election workers, especially Karen and Gloria, who made it really work. Almost 80%.
Yeah.
And that's really good. And that's a high percentage of turnout. So
We really had a
thank-
great, everyone was so polite. The
Yep.
flow was great, so.
No issues whatsoever.
No.
I'm aware of.
And I want to thank Emily for acting as a selectman pro tem for me. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank her. And
She is on the line, so I'm sure she hears you. So appreciate that.
I think we should note that Chris McAleer is now our Carroll County District 7 representative. And congratulate him on his successful election.
Agreed.
Whoever's on there. Oh, and I will note that there has been a positive case of coronavirus at the Bartlett Fire Department, and there may have been some interface with the ambulance service, so I just want everybody who has any contact, our own fire department or whatever, to find out, be cautious, and get a test.
Mhm.
You know, and we just can't assume that things are going along smoothly, because they're not.
Mhm.
It's starting to show up in many, many places.
Right.
Oh, and then I was gonna ask John, on the transfer station complaint, we don't need to go into it right now, but I would like to get someplace. I think the letter that came to us should go to the person and get a response from them.
Sure.
Okay.
Has that letter been passed on to him yet, Julie?
No, we've only given it to you.
Okay, so then the first item is postponed. From Chief Curley has an addendum to the police department policies.
Mhm.
Oh, I got ahead of myself. There's the thank you for the election volunteers. Let's see, the town clerk, tax collector
I have, yeah.
would like us to apply for some money.
Actually, this is to accept grant money, and it's under
Accept it.
$10,000, so we're just accepting it and announcing it in here. So it's $5,000 to cover election materials and equipment, and then $1,308.22 to cover the cost of mailing and processing absentee ballots. So it's $6,308.22 that we are accepting as grant money.
Well, I'll make a motion to accept that.
And I will second that. And also kudos to all of you guys for keeping your eyes out for all the grant money that's available. It's really made a big impact. So thank you.
John, how would you vote on
I
that?
vote yes.
Barbara,
I vote yes.
The money? Sure.
Bennett, yes, will accept the money.
Now, Karen had looked at a ballot counting machine, and we do not currently have a use for some of this grant money, so the ballot counting machine has been looked at by Jerry Doherty and we're gonna make a decision once they give us a formal presentation. The money needs to be spent by the end of 2020, so at one of the next select meetings, we'll talk about that with a presentation that Karen gives us and decide if we want to spend the money on that purchase or not. As of now, we haven't spent that $5,000 grant.
Okay.
Okay? To be forwarded.
But if we don't spend it, we lose it.
Yes, correct.
And then, just for our information, the solar update, up and running.
Wow.
Is that correct? Even up at, ours is here.
Ours is, I'm not on, I believe the highway.
They were working on the one at the highway department. I'm not sure if it's
Great.
complete. They had the electricals, the panel board and all the interface and the inverters were in, but they had to get up on the roof and I think hook in the panels. So anyway, we're very close, if not complete. We're complete here in the office building and will soon be complete on the hill.
Perfect.
Nice to hear.
Yeah.
Well, it's taken a while to get it all, but
Sure.
it's one of those things that for the next 20 years, it'll be there. Working for us. The next is possible sale of town property, lots B7, lot 53 and 54 are two very narrow strips along the right of way. But it's like an impediment to road frontage and access to the road for the house lots that are just behind that. I mean, it looked like they may have been 20 feet wide. They were really, quite long and skinny pieces.
Where are they?
Jackson Highlands Road?
Where is it? Highland Road.
Jackson Highlands Road?
Jackson Highland.
Right,
Do we have-
Jackson Highland.
Do we have anyone that's interested in purchasing these? Is that how this came to,
Well,
came to be?
the land behind it has come up for sale.
okay,
And the real estate agent got in touch with me just to say, hey, this is what we see. And he sent me a picture of the right of way and why the town owns those lots, I have no idea. But I would certainly feel good about the town, selling off that land, that little strip. And I think it helps development of the lots behind it. It isn't like it's, the road is there, it's a town road in there. And you could jump around, there's ways to, get the back lots frontage, but this would just clear up something that I don't see why the town would want to own it. We get it on the tax rolls, and we'll be money in our pocket again.
so is the Realtor interested in rolling this into the deal?
I said I would
with-
bring it up
Okay,
if everybody is in favor of me going ahead and talking with him.
Mhm.
Perhaps if he gets a customer, that could be part of the deal. I have no idea. I'd have to ask our town assessor, how would we quantify that?
yeah,
How do we put a number on it? But, okay, I'll follow
Checking
up.
it
Yeah, just learn
Is that,
how,
John, you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
See what it is. I'll-
not big enough for a fire station, so,
One truck.
yeah,
So
parallel park.
if you go up Highland, it's on the right. And I think it goes from Black Mountain Road, it's maybe, I can't remember, 500 feet in.
Hmm.
So, it's a stretch, but it's only this little narrow
Hmm.
piece, but we own it. So
Yeah,
if you want to look at it, that's where it is.
okay, yeah, I'd just like to know how that would work and what the, like, market value would be on it. I see the assessed value, but, it obviously could be
Right.
a valuable piece if it makes an access to the back property easier.
Well, I think we'll help it along to the best and highest use.
Perfect.
Okay. We have a cemetery lot agreement from Christine Thompson. I'd make a motion to accept that.
I'll make a motion to accept the cemetery lot agreement for Christine Johnson.
Second.
John, how do you vote?
I go yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. Barbara, you're on the spot again.
Yes, I
We're
am.
going to talk about
So
health
the health insurance, Julie got 2 quotes from the usual vendors that we deal with or providers that we deal with. And then we also looked into claim links, which seems a little bit complicated, and we weren't comfortable with making the decision to go with them. So we're staying with the company that we're with currently, but we're moving back to the non-site of service plan because the site of service plan was very, being in the Jackson area here, it was very inconvenient for the members and the participants of the plan. So we went back to the plan that was previously on, that we were on previously the year before or a few years before. So non-site of service plan. We tried to negotiate the rates. I even called the broker myself, but they are set because they're part of a government pool of different employers under 50. It's a set rate. So if we went out and tried to get a plan on our own, it would be much more expensive and we would be very volatile. So I learned a lot about the plan that we have. And so that's what we're going to decide, or that's what we've decided to stick with. If we did switch vendors again, we would be locked out for 2 years from the other vendor, and we don't like having that sort of that lock in. So we're going to stay with the same provider, move to the non-site of service plan with Health Trust.
Did you want to speak about the bump in the rate of contribution from the employees, and additionally discuss the other towns that we were able to get that email string?
Yeah, I don't have that documentation with me, but Julie put together a listing of many neighboring towns and how much they contribute to their employees' portion of health insurance. And so as a result of that, and Julie's suggestion as well, the employees currently contribute 3% of the premium through their paycheck, and we're changing that to be 5%. So the employees will be contributing a bit more this year, this next plan year. And the annual contribution rate is not hindering the employees that much, but it also allows the town to have a little bit less of a burden as well. We have a very good plan, but as a result of getting all of those, all the information on neighboring towns, we're right in the middle. There are some that contribute 100%, there are some that contribute 85, 90%, but most of them contribute 95 to 100%. So that was very interesting to me because I absolutely think it's a generous plan based on my corporate years and seeing things. And I'm also happy to say that we have a good health insurance plan for our employees. So yes, it's a very big line item on our budget. We looked at options. We've changed the amount that the employees are gonna contribute, and I'm happy with the decision.
And it gives them the option of using a local medical facility rather than going to a provider.
Right, in
authorized.
Littleton or, much, much farther away. Was it even Littleton, Wolfboro? Yeah,
Things like that.
so, yes.
I think that's important. Stay
So-
local.
That is my report.
All right, well, thank you very much. I think we'll be happy with our health insurance for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
The next item is the old library use, and I have stated that I want to just shut down the use of the old library.
Mm-hmm.
We tried it and we didn't really get cooperation. And we've had, I've got a couple of written complaints. So I think that for right now, especially with the virus on its way up, we just shut down the use. So, okay.
How much was it being used?
It was one new group that started last Sunday, but there were some people that, were concerned about, I guess there were 11 people in there, and, they brought the concerns to everyone, and, it was an email, sorry.
Yeah, I saw it. I just,
Yeah, so it's not
how much use was it getting, I guess,
Yeah.
This was
overall?
the first group that was
Yeah.
sent back in.
So it's not going to impact a lot of people by keeping it closed, but it does just create another barrier to spreading
I
the
think
virus.
we can't go request by request. We're just going to make a flat policy. It's closed for the time being. Then we will discuss our mask policy. And is Emily here?
Emily, you are on the line, so. I'm gonna-
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I did it.
Yes.
Yes, so did you want to say something first? Do you want me to say something?
No, go ahead.
Well, I've been in touch with some different folks who are sharing their concerns, but it's been very interesting to see the information that's coming through both the health officer email listserv. Kevin and I were talking about that today, and just looking at the rising number of cases, what towns are doing as a result. So there are certain policies that can be shared. I am in the process of composing an update for e-news, just sort of reminding folks, if they're not aware already, that it's really important to follow the recommended guidelines, social distancing, masking, washing your hands, especially as we're coming into the holiday season. Again, sharing the resources that we have on the website, the state resources in terms of enacting a mask mandate. I would just caution as to the enforceability of something like that. We are in a more rural area, certainly when I look at some of the other towns who have been enacting those mandates. But that's my thought on it at this point.
So we've gotten several emails from people that really do want to, they're encouraging us to have a mask mandate. And you said the magic word of enforcement, so that is definitely important and hard to do. But I guess I would like to strongly encourage, without making a mandate, until Governor Sununu or somebody else steps in there, encourage all town employees to set an example by wearing masks, especially those that are in the public more and interact with the public, like our first responders and our public employees. So that would be my strong recommendation. And I guess that's as far as you can go without saying we have a mask mandate.
Right. I would like to say that our town employees, when they interface with the public, outdoors, if you're mowing the grass in the park, fine. But if you go into somebody else's house, wear a mask. And keep distance. There's not that many protocols that we have to go through, and I want to hope that everybody who is a town employee would observe those protocols.
Well, and just to add to that, another conversation I had was just really the concern of folks that, are coming down up in COAS, that their rates are increasing, employees within our local businesses to, just what you were saying, just reiterate again, it's, to mask up inside. If you can't maintain social distancing, especially on the job, and it's for all of us to work together on this. And I'm happy to, I'm sort of halfway through composing something that can go to e-news. I can send it to all of you and to Julie's to take a look and just sort of put some stronger language in it. I mean, I'll be polite, but just reiterating, because there is a real concern about the holidays with people coming into town. And again, setting that example of all of us as we're out and about.
I agree, and I think you hit the nail on the head. As far as the North Country had like 2 cases for the first 6 months, and now, a spike up there is 20 to 50 people. That's a lot of people for the population that are there. People get complacent, and I think we just need to keep reminding people as much as we can to continue being safe and respectful of others.
I agree.
Yeah, Emily, if you could tighten that up a little and send it on, and we'll put it in e-news again. Maybe Kathleen can do something on the chamber website again as well.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation. Whatever is being put out by the chamber, really reiterate. I'm not on all the social media channels, but the more we can spread that. And I have heard from different businesses, people are getting better about masking up when they come in, and businesses just not allowing people, turning them away if they don't mask up, and
Right.
setting the example.
Sounds good.
And Emily, keep us posted, anything you do here, anytime, just keep it fresh.
I sure will.
Thank you. All right. Well, now the Vista Way right-of-way is still pending. I think I probably slowed it down by asking that the other side of the road be addressed at the same time, but I still feel the same way. I think it should be. So we have, excuse me, short-term rental approvals to go through, and I will read them off. Did we vote on them one at a time?
Yes.
Okay. 66C at Wentworth Hall Avenue.
And they were in the process of fixing their egress windows, and I believe that project is done.
Yeah.
So that is fine, and I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
John second. John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
I vote yes. Oh, sorry.
Bennett, yes. 42 Whitney Hill Loop.
No comments.
No. I'll make a motion that we accept that application.
I'll second.
And
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 71 Switchback.
I'll make a motion to approve that application.
I'll second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 68 Juniper Way.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 21 Middle Mountain Road, nope, Middle Mountain Trail.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 612 Carter Notch Road.
Your turn.
I will make a motion to approve.
I will second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 19 Mountain View Road.
I'll make a motion to approve 19 Mountain View Road.
I will second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 9 Harriman Road.
I will make a motion to approve 9 Harriman Road.
I will second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 139 Jackson Highlands Road.
I'll make a motion to approve 139 Jackson Highlands Road.
I will second that.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. 12 Middle Mountain Trail.
I'll make a motion to approve 12 Middle Mountain Trail.
I will second.
Yes.
John, how do you
I
vote?
vote yes.
Barbara, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. Barbara, do you have the statement from?
I do.
Peter?
So-
Or-
Yep, so Peter and I put together a very concise sort of bullet points of how we're going to be considering these applications for conditional use permit in the future. And are you okay with me reading this in, or do we want to attach it?
I read it.
I'm going to read this into the minutes. Thank you. The planning board presented a warrant article to amend the town zoning ordinance at the annual town meeting on March 12, 2020. This new ordinance requires all short-term rental or STR owners to register their STR and submit a request for a conditional use permit or CUP. A CUP should be completed by each STR owner and submitted to the Selectmen's office, where they will be screened for completeness and payment. The Selectmen's office will also pull the tax card and/or a current septic plan for each CUP. The CUP application, tax card, and/or septic plan will then be forwarded to the planning board, which will review all CUP applications at their monthly meeting and return with comments to the Board of Selectmen by the following Monday. Each CUP application that is returned from the planning board will be put on the agenda for the next Selectmen's meeting for review. The Board of Selectmen will review each CUP application at their next scheduled meeting, together with the planning board's comments and the tax card and/or septic plan, and approve if everything is in order. If an STR is not ready for CUP approval, the owner will be contacted in writing to remedy any questions or issues. This ordinance was approved by the town for the purpose of registering each short-term rental in the town. And this is signed by the Board of Selectmen of Jackson. So I hope that makes sense of how the process goes for each of the future applications for registration.
Right.
Just going back to the approvals, apparently there were 2 that were advertised for over what they should.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you have the list, the sheets.
The 2 that you emailed.
The ones in the big can, there
Yeah.
are 3 of them.
They're highlighted, the 2 ones that are highlighted.
So the owners will be contacted on those, or were they already? They were not yet. They
No.
will be.
No, they will be. We can say approved conditional.
I thought we weren't doing.
I
No, we're
don't
not.
think we're gonna do that.
Which ones were these then?
Vicky, or can you hand out
So
the-
I don't know the name.
The ones in the back there, right there in the can. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Here we
you.
go.
Ugh. These ones are highlighted?
Yeah,
Okay.
the highlighted ones with the notes, and read the notes.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought you had those.
So there are two that we just approved that we should rescind the approval at this time until the owners are contacted because they're advertising more tenants than what they're allowed to have
Right.
per the tax card and or septic.
Yeah.
So those would be the properties on 612 Carter Notch Road and 19 Mountain View Road.
Okay.
So based on our new procedures that we just read in, they will be contacted because their applications are not ready for approval yet. And once they're contacted, they need to change their advertisements and show proof of that and resubmit their conditional use permit application. Does that make sense to everyone?
Mhm.
All
I
right,
make a motion that we rescind our approval of those two properties.
I will second the motion.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes to rescind.
Barbara, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. So those will have to clean up their application. 612 Carter Notch Road and 19 Mountain View.
Correct.
All right, Kudrick is still missing.
No response still?
Not gonna know, we're gonna probably have to pursue that.
Right.
I think he's waiting for, that to happen so he can fight it
Right.
or whatever he's gonna do. I don't know if he's.
I guess we'll find out.
Or just belligerent.
Mhm.
Okay, then we have two complaints. One for 28 Balsam Drive. We've got a complaint on a complaint form. I do not think to pull my phone to make a record. I'll try to do better next time.
Are you aware of this one? Did you
Was,
see the details on this one?
Huh?
Did you read the details on this one? Okay.
this was a barking dog,
Friend of mine. I've heard it sometimes.
belligerent, in making an inquiry to, curb the barking. The response was, we're paid to be here, we can do anything we want. It's just a typical rude behavior that we get sometimes. It's not a complaint that we can deal with here. I don't believe.
I don't believe it broke any of the short-term rental ordinances. It appears to me to be an unfortunate encounter and an unfortunate event. I do have some parties on the Zoom call. Katie Reardon, that owns the property, is here. So if anyone wants to say anything, they can, but I don't believe this is an ordinance that this complaint violated any ordinance.
Well, we're gonna hold on to these and keep a record. One,
Right.
I think I've heard 28 Balsam Drive before.
Mm-hmm.
But if we craft words that we want to deal with specific problems, I think having a backlog of written complaint
Mm-hmm.
is a good thing. Next one is from Victor Allen. I don't believe. It's a complaint about 62 Thornhill Road.
Correct.
And this was a loading situation where it was obvious that we're, a house full of people. It allows 10 people per rental, and there are obviously 20 or 25 people in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it was obviously a party house, and I think If it had been a quiet party, I don't think there would have been a complaint. I'm sure there was a noise issue that kind of generated the second look into it. And, you know, it is a problem. I mean, we have the specifics on what the house, on the tax cards is equipped to handle, and then we have you know, total overstocking of the house. So again, I don't know that we can do anything, but we have to certainly keep track of this.
Right.
I think we'll check on that because if they're loading the house beyond its capacity, I don't know what our recourse will be.
Right.
I believe I looked that one up and they were advertising 21 people.
Mhm.
So obviously the advertisement is not correct. So,
Right.
I mean, that would be an issue, complaint level. issue
Okay,
right
then
there.
I think we could generate a letter
Yeah.
asking them to revise their advertising.
Absolutely.
So we.
We've done twice.
Twice.
They've received a letter twice. The second letter, they received certified mail, and they have not responded.
Yeah, this is not the first time.
This is, yeah,
If this is gonna come, are you gonna take the action of a second warning letter with sign attached?
Yeah. I
I
think
think we
that's the
should.
next step. I agree.
I mean, if they're just ignoring us,
That's
I
why
don't
we
see
have,
any
that's
other
why we
avenue.
have the processes in place.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe we should double check to make sure that's still being advertised. It was a while back that I looked at it.
Yeah.
I remember when it first came up that, you know, I double checked that site, so I don't know if it's been changed since.
and
Well-
so, the short-term rental committee that was formed, and I'm a part of that, has come up with some really valid suggestions that are still being formulated and finalized. So probably by the next select meeting, there will be a presentation to our board on improvements to make on the application for the conditional use permit. And also, there are fine suggestions, there are many things, but we also learned about some of the successful or more successful short-term rentals and what they are doing right. And we're going to try to help educate some of the owners as well. So just really improving our process, the experience, the responsibility of trash, all those things. So hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have something much more hard copy to present and hopefully make some of these things go smoother over the next year.
Okay, but this second complaint will
Yeah,
keep working on. It's an active complaint.
So are we taking no action at this point on?
I think we're gonna wait to see what our legal standing is. Oh, and.
no, on the second one, I thought we were going to do a second complaint
We're
because,
gonna go ahead and send the second complaint letter. Okay.
yeah,
But again, just double check on that
On the
advertising. I think that's the
advertising.
thing. It's gonna take some time to be able to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, obviously, these girls are charged.
You think they're busy?
yeah,
The election's over, they have nothing to do.
Really?
So just to further clarify, if you look on and find that the advertising is still for the over amount,
Yes.
then you would send a second letter with the fee attached.
correct.
Even if it's not, I think, I mean, unless, you know,
We're
we don't have any
hearing-
verification of proof that they are over the limit, this is just no pictures, no video of anything. You know, we're taking that person's word on it that they were over the limit there, right?
Well, they're advertising over the.
If they are, that's a different story, but if they've changed the advertisement,
And
Then
we'll
we're
just
not
have to
sending.
go along and accept their word that that's what they're accepting for bookings.
but we're not gonna, pursue the second complaint on.
Well, I put it on hold until we find out whether they're still advertising for over their septic limit. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Is that correct? How about you? Yeah, okay.
Think about
so the last letter that was sent to them, they have 21 days to respond. And then I think if they don't respond, then the next letter goes out.
Okay. So Kudrick, we have the complaints. Now we do building permits, and we have a list of, let's see, 1, 2, 3,
About
4,
24, 23, 24.
yeah, a whole bunch of them. So they're on file, they're public information. Everything from a pole barn, replace egress windows, solar panels, a renewal of a building permit that was in place, shingle roof. Anyway, there they are.
Kevin's got to be a busy man.
I don't think we have any driveway permits. Our upcoming meetings will be Tuesday, November 24th at 3:30 via Zoom. We will not be meeting in this room. We're going to go back to Zoom meetings.
Yeah. And we'll publish the call-in information and contact Julie or either of the Julies for the passcode.
Right. So that's Tuesday, November 24th, and Tuesday, December 8th. December.
Mhm.
Mm.
Normally I'd say, geez, time's flying, but now I'm kind of like, let's get this year over.
Okay, and we're not going to, oh, public comment? Hank? You're our public today.
Does anyone have
We got a
public
thumbs up
comment?
from Hank, so
Does
that's
anyone
good.
have public comment on the Zoom call?
Oh, are we gonna open that up?
I'm just saying they're on public, but I'm not seeing anybody raise their hand.
Okay.
Yeah,
Victor, did you want to say something?
yeah. With that was my third complaint, and I did add the up-to-date number of bedrooms and how many people it sleeps on the back of that complaint. It was attached.
Yes, I saw that. We do have
And,
that.
Okay, and this past weekend, I did speak to one of the persons that was renting it, and he did state there was 6 bedrooms in that unit. And I did submit a letter previous from Kevin Cavani from he's the compliance officer for the septic systems of the state of New Hampshire. And he said 2 bedrooms have to be removed. And that letter was on the first or second complaint. I attached it. But for the last 3 years, if you read the reviews, they're way over the 10 people that are allowed to stay there.
Mhm.
And the septic system issue is a serious issue because it overloads it. And
Right.
it doesn't get to be treated. So the raw sewage is going out to the field and it gets in the groundwater. And there's a brook right beside that house. So the raw sewage is possibly going into the brook also. And I'm worried about my well being contaminated. I mean, it's always overcrowded there, and the septic system is only designed for 4 bedrooms and 12 people.
And there are
And-
6 bedrooms as far as you know, that you've heard.
As of this past weekend, I did talk to one of the renters that was there, and he
Okay.
stated there were 6 bedrooms there.
Okay.
But like the well issue is a big deal. If they contaminate my well, I'm up the creek,
Mhm.
you know?
Got it.
But there's rules, regulations, and ordinance in place to alleviate all these concerns, and they're just ignoring them all.
Okay, and I do appreciate the detail you've given us on the complaints, so we'll visit that again, and like we said, we'll do our research on this one and see if they responded back to the other complaints that we filed.
But like, on the short-term rentals, there's the second one, you get a fine, and the third one, they lose their permit for so many days?
That's
Is that
correct. That's correct.
There's also a
So this is
time.
my third complaint.
Yeah, and there's a time to respond between complaints, so that's what we're gonna be checking on, as well as the advertisement situation, and, we'll do a little more digging from there.
Okay, but I mean, I did submit the up-to-date advertisement with that last complaint.
Yes,
was the-
I definitely see that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And then Katie would like to speak about her complaint. Katie Reardon is about the complaint on 28 Balsam Drive.
This
Hi,
on
thank you.
Balsam.
Yep.
Yes. Hi,
Thank
Katie.
you so much. Hi, thanks so much for letting me speak. So I understand that the complaint was not, a valid complaint is in regards to the ordinance, but I did hear that you said that the complaint was gonna still be on file. So I will submit kind of a statement. As you know, there's always two sides to every story. And I had a really nice family that was staying at the house that weekend. They had ranged from babies to teens, and they were walking their dog down the street on Balsam, and this particular neighbor who did submit the complaint has done this in the past. She yells at my guests, telling them not to walk their dog past her house. In Balsam, it's a dead-end road, so there's really nowhere else for them to go if they do want to go for a nice long walk. I watched all of the camera footage that we had from that weekend. There were some folks playing with some remote control cars, and you see them exit the driveway, and she told them, that she didn't want them near her house or near her road, or the road in front of her house. And then you see them, I did not hear that part on the camera, but I did see them come right back into the driveway very shortly after exiting. They put the remote control cars away in the trunks of their cars, and they went inside the house. So I understand that this is kind of like seems to be more of a neighbor dispute. We have done a lot to our short-term rental cameras. I live locally. We're driving by constantly. We're really, really educating our renters on what they are renting, that they're renting in a residential neighborhood. And if they're looking to have a nice, relaxing, quiet weekend, this is the house for them. So I just wanted to say that. I'll send a statement just so that hopefully maybe you can put that statement with this complaint, just because I would like to tell my side of the story here.
Right, yeah, that would be fine. I definitely would like to, we'll put your statement on there when we receive it, and hopefully we can move past this one.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Katie.
And I think also with time and people getting to understand the system, I think things will get better as we go on in the future, because obviously once they start getting some of these hits, it's gonna hit them in the pocket or
Negative
or shot
reviews
down
or
eventually.
just,
So
yeah,
I think the business owners, I call them business owners, but it really is a business to me anyways. They're gonna, figure it out eventually.
And I think we have to stay on top of it, just to, be a check and balance of the whole thing, because otherwise I think it would get carried away.
So I attended the land use webinar a couple of weeks ago, and Jackson is one of 3 communities in the state of New Hampshire that has a short-term rental ordinance. Just one of 3. The other 2 are Laconia, which we modeled a lot of our ordinance after, and Hanover, which is Dartmouth. So it's very, very much college town type of rentals. And ours, they mentioned that ours is the most liberal of the policies, and it's our first year doing this. So yeah, we don't need to ban them. We need to figure out how to make it a respectful situation. Like John said, people are going to learn about the neighborhoods and the areas and the reviews and things like that, and that's going to dictate a lot of the experience that people have. But it's a horrible year too. I've heard that from many of the people that own short-term rentals, that they have never seen the activity, and the level of renters that have been up here has been very different than previous years. So hopefully things will get better moving forward. Respect and kindness would be,
I think John
I
hit
think
it.
that we'd
I
strive
think it's gonna smooth out and
Mhm.
it should be a viable business that works with the community. That's all I have.
all right.
You guys want to talk about anything else?
No, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Barbara?
I vote yes.
Yes, says Bennett.
See you at
Thank you.
Zoom next time. Thank you all for attending on the Zoom call.
That's gonna pass.